Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Erica, and Tori. Tori waved again. Sorry. Yes, Tori, give it to them, girl.
What do you say, you girl?
All right. Hello. Hi. Okay, so Ben Affleck is clarifying some of the comments he made on the Howard Stern show earlier this week. We talked all about it, of course. Now, how he seemed to blame his ex-wife Jennifer Garner for his drinking problem. Well, last night he told Jimmy Kimmel it was all taken out of context. Watch.
And he said that I had blamed my ex-wife for my alcoholism and that I was trapped in this marriage. Like, just made me out to be like the worst, most insensitive, stupid, awful guy. Really, like, it's about my kids. I gotta just draw a line.
Right,
you know,
of course.
I'm really clear. Like, that's not true. I don't believe that. It's the exact opposite of who I am, what I believe, and I would never want my kids to think I would ever say a bad word about their mom.
So, Tori, you felt very strongly when we discussed this. Now, hearing him speak on Kimmel, do you feel differently?
No, I think he dug his hole deeper. And I know Al and I disagree on this strongly. And I'm not like really offended by this, but I just think he is spreading the blame game a third time, because now he's blaming us for the way we interpreted the Howard Stern interview in which he said what he said. Did we take it out of context? And Sam, you definitely said that well yesterday, and I thought about it a lot. Yeah, we tend to take it out of context. But I don't think Stern was the right move. I think it was a bad interview, and you should stop talking at this point. Now he's like, they think this, that's wrong, man. I'm not that guy. Well, you said those things, dude. So draw a line, because now you're blaming us. So I'm not really upset. I just think this was a bad move.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair what you're saying. You know, and as I looked at this interview, I did like that he said, I'm drawing a line. I'm not talking about the mother of my kids. I got that. I like that. But I feel like the fact that when I listened to the interview, I feel like he sounded like a person that had not unpacked this. When you go back and start to retroactively look at and take account for your actions as an alcoholic or just in your 20s or 30s, it's hard, and you need to do that with somebody that's going to be honest with you, somebody like you guys. That I can call Erica and she'd be like, no, don't, no, remember? Like, you need somebody that's not going to be like, you're right, they're wrong. You need somebody that's going to help check. And it sounded like he did not have that person or does not have that person in his life. And that's why that interview kind of came off like that.
Yeah.
Because if that was me, I would be so happy to be on Howard Stern like, no, that was all me, dude. I'm going to tell you, yeah, I was out of line there. That was wrong. But when you're not there inside, it's not going to be projected.
I love that take, Al. I mean, your transparency is so golden, but I think
it's freeing.
Exactly, and has always been like, I am so embarrassed by the person that I have been in different stages of my life, but by really looking in the mirror and assessing that embarrassment as to why I made the calls that I made, why I did what I did in the moment, that is a very free place to be. I really question who made the call for Howard Stern to be that format, because that is a topic that should be handled with care, not a topic that is just kind of rambled on about for an hour, especially when you're trying to protect the people that you love. So do I think that he's a terrible person? I don't know him, but I do know that people are very intentional about who they're speaking to and on what format they're speaking to. One-on-one interviews are very common that way.
I disagree with you guys. I think Howard Stern has grown a lot and evolved a lot over the years. He's gone to...
I think it's a great interview.
Yeah, and he's gone to so much therapy that I actually think he's the right person to speak to when it comes to divorce, when it comes to addiction. And I think we tend to, in this society, focus on one negative comment. Sure, could Ben Affleck have rephrased it? But then we never focus on the fact that he said he loves and respects Jennifer Garner. They're just not a right match. We never focus on the fact how he was very open about his alcoholism. We're only focusing on one little snafu. Sorry, Michael Dean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. I was just told. One little gaffe that he made.
Yeah, but it's a pretty big gaffe.
It is, but in reality, no one's bringing up all the other stuff that was actually kind.
Well, that's what we talk about when we say, and I don't want to cut you off, when we talk about like headline clickbait culture. You kind of have to know going in any interview, and I think you would, being as media savvy as you are, Sam, you would know that the one sentence I say that's going to be controversial about DBL is what is going to be at the top of that.
True.
So you would be more conscious of your work.
And Ben Affleck should have known that too.
You're both right. I think that, Sam, you're right. If you're speaking about things that have happened in your life and there's someone that can relate to you, that's a great format. But if you aren't ready to have that conversation freely, then that's not the place that you should go.
How do you know if you're ready or not? If
You're ready to hold accountability.
Some people aren't great open books like we are.
Still therapy.
Some people are just actors and they go on and they start to talk, but they might not have the tools, and they may never have those tools. But in my opinion, that doesn't mean that they're not allowed to speak.
No, but maybe don't go on Howard Stern, because he's going to get that information on you, and you're going to maybe say it in an inflammatory way.
Or maybe we're digging too deep.
I think
in my
he said
opinion.
it. I think he said
Okay.
it.
Good conversation. Okay. Well, Jennifer Garner hasn't publicly commented on Ben's interview, but some tabloids are reporting that she was less than thrilled with it. So keep in mind, these are just reports. It's important to always say that, but according to In Touch, Jen felt Ben's comments blaming his drinking on their marriage was disrespectful and a slap in her face. Meantime, Jennifer Lopez and Ben were all smiles as they arrived at his Jimmy Kimmel taping yesterday, but Page Six is reporting that J-Lo wasn't happy about his comments either, calling it, quote, reckless. So what do we think of these reported comments now, Tori?
Well, because we heard from Ben Affleck himself and Howard Stern, I believe that more than I believe this. Can I be honest? Jennifer Garner is never going to say anything. She is so good at keeping her brand not messy. And his brand right now is all messy. He's just telling everyone everything when he kind of shouldn't be, in my opinion. I think we won't hear from her, and I think probably won't hear from J-Lo. I think they're going to zip up, shut up, and move on so the story moves on. That's what I think.
What do you think, Eric? Because I look at Ben as like a lot of people that kind of, you're with somebody that seems like A-Rod is kind of more a square, not an insult, but he seems more kind of conventional. And I think that we all bring people into our life because they are a wild card. And a wild card can be good or bad. You could have the best night of your life with them or the worst night of your life with them. And there is some attraction to that. They're called bad boys for a reason. And I wonder if when she's saying what he's, this is reckless, and she's so purposeful about curating her image, I wonder why she would bring Ben Affleck into this perfectly curated manner that she's created.
I would have to question A-Rod being not a wild
I
card.
agree.
I mean, I think that's kind of how she ended up.
Sexually, I don't think that's true.
The sweater vest threw me off,
no,
but
I'm right there with that.
I know he's in them streets.
Yeah, right there.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bruce Springsteen recently made bank by selling his entire song catalog for a reported, are you guys ready for this?
Talk to me.
$500 million. The catalog includes hits from Born in the USA and his multi-platinum album, The River. There's no official price tag on the sale, but Billboard says it could be up to $500 million, which would make it the largest amount paid for a single artist catalog.
Bruce, the boss.
What?
That's what they call him.
I know.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Are you a Springsteen fan?
Yes, I think he's an amazing poet. He sings for the workers, the lower class. He's amazing in concert.
$1,500 to go see his ticket.
Agreed,
Yeah.
but he started off, if you know him
All
from
the
the very
workers
beginning.
can give their money to one worker to go see him.
Okay,
The man of the people, literally. We can send one man.
Yeah, we can go off
Yes.
Broadway and see him for $1,500
Yes,
a night.
Paul
So
McCartney-
down to earth.
He started off as a strong, perfectionist poet to speak of the hard blue-collar working people of New Jersey, and his concerts are awesome, and he still pulls off a great show, and people who are boomers are willing to now pay for that kind of thing because they've made the money. They've made their money.
That's a good point,
Thank
actually.
you. Thank you.
But then can you be a man of the people then?
Yes, because he rose up with the
He
people.
did the American
And then he left the people
No, he
and got
did
on a
not.
private
No.
jet.
Yes. His people have
And they stayed back in
They
Jersey.
paid their
They paid their dues.
They paid the dues.
It's funny how some people are allowed to do that and other people aren't.
Absolutely,
That's a
yeah.
good point.
You mean like sell
Yeah.
out?
Well, yeah.
I was like, I was with the people, and then the people elevated me, and then now they don't like me anymore because I'm not one of the people.
Well,
but some people get to stay a part of the people,
Erica,
regardless of what kind of plane
he still
you
wears
are.
a jean jacket, so that means he's like,
What
he's
about,
one of us.
is he a sellout now that we can hear his songs on commercials now?
I don't think what are we doing? Why are we showing up to work regardless of what our profession is if we can't make money?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna
Sell
go home
out.
right now because people are constantly like, well, they're making too
Okay,
much money.
Erica.
We got, well, she has this, or they have
I'm
that.
going to clip one of your best-selling rants and put it on a commercial, and we'll see how you feel about that.
She feel
Thank
great.
you. Would you like 10%? Because if I'm eating, we're all getting fed, honey. We're all getting fed.
What if it's a brand that you don't like, Erica? Like, I mean a bad brand.
What's a bad
What's a
brand?
bad brand?
I don't-
Like, give me an
Bad brand.
example.
Like a bad brand that has a history of doing
2 words.
Bad
Check
things.
cleared. Yeah, just give me the money. What? What are you
right.
talking about?
Give me the money.
I don't want, like, there's
This
brands-
isn't the Knights of the Round Table. I don't want to be virtuous.
Dude.
Send me the money.
There's still morals.
Quiet.
There's still morals.
Yes, coming up on DBL. Everyone celebrates the holidays differently, but some people take it just a little too far. We're showing you
like
the
that.
most outrageous holiday decor that's gone viral.
Closed captioning provided by
Superpower.
Hey guys, I'm Tori. I don't know why I said that. I've been working for about 5 months now on a needlepoint for Rob, our camera guy. Rob is an amazing snowboarder and also loves Bernie Sanders. And he wanted a piece that combined Bernie Sanders with snowboarding, and you'll see what I did. Okay, Rob, here, come on up.
Car commercial, and it's like
ready?
a Rolling Stone,
It
which
feels-
was this anthem for
Yeah, you got it.
protest and shut up.
Okay, ready?
Oh my God.
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So we'll hold it up. So is it cute?
Amazing.
So you say unload here when you get off a chairlift, but it's the famous Mittens Bernie.
That is amazing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So it'll be good. But this is for you. Thank you for it kept me sane during the pandemic. That's really good.
You are amazing.
So you guys come on in here for a second just so you see. If you're interested in cross stitch, it's really simple, but what's hard is this is like a back stitch. See how you can like move it? So that stuff makes it pop like 3D, and then this would be stretched and put on a frame. So if you're interested in cross stitch, let me know because I can get you started in the right direction. So this is yours, buddy. Enjoy.
That is gorgeous.
Dude, the trees
That is
color.
gorgeous.
In the next segment,
Quick chats, right? A beat. You got it. So guys, the trees will make you want to go insane. What do you think, Lydia? Yeah, she didn't say it with a lot of like excitement.
Tori, that is amazing.
I'm so glad.
Is that your best work?
By far. But it's this, like, look at this, like that little stuff.